again on Wednesday, and a lot has happened since the last you and I talked. You have had to learn a couple lessons. Uh, you know, lessons that you needed to learn in order to continue to grow on the path that you've chosen to go on. So, let me talk about them. So, you got a phone call from someone Thursday about how things were happening. They're getting kicked out of the hospital, everything else. And they had been telling you they were getting clean, they weren't drinking anymore, they weren't doing this, or they weren't doing that. You know? Then come to find out that they're getting kicked out because of that exact reason. And they weren't getting put out on the street, like, right away, not right this second. No. They were getting help finding a place to stay first. So, it wasn't like they were just going to kick him out and put him on the street. They were quite conveniently trying to make the situation sound worse than it actually was. But it wasn't that bad. The thing that was the most revealing is the fact that they lied to you. They lied. They said they were getting better. They said they weren't gonna be doing drugs or alcohol anymore. They were trying to get off of all of it. That they, you know. Then to come to find out that they sneak each other in drugs all the time. If one of them is in the hospital, the other one's taking them drugs. I guess it's been a continuous thing. That's the exact reason they got kicked out. That's one of the reasons why his wife wasn't allowed back into the hospital for visitation or anything like that, because she was strung out and everything else. And so you had to make a decision, and that decision was to cut them out of your life so you can focus on your future, and hopefully they can learn that they need to get clean. Your future right now is the thing that needs to be focused on. Where are you headed? You're headed for financial freedom. You're headed to achieve the goals you set forth for yourself. They weren't helping with achieving those goals. Matter of fact, every time you'd go see them, it was just one thing after another. How angrily vindictive they were, you know. Him in particular, just so angrily vindictive and stuff like this. And it was just every time you left feeling more negative than you had before even going there. Now, the second thing, and you've talked about this before, and I guess it's going to be continuation, because, one second, I don't know who this is. I don't know who that was, but, you know, we'll hang up on them. So, we've talked about this before, but they just kept doing it. You gave them one more chance, and they went with it, and they ran with it. So, and that is the topic of do not give out your services for free, because if somebody doesn't have to pay for it in any way, shape, or form, if they don't have to pay for it, they're not going to want to do it. They're not going to take it seriously enough. They're going to waste your time. They're going to waste their time. They're going to do all this, and they won't even show up half the time. They won't take it seriously enough. Your time is just as valuable as theirs. So, you gave them one more chance, and they did it again. They, of course, New Year's, that was a holiday, so you weren't too upset with that one. But then last weekend, on Sunday, they just didn't call you, they didn't text you, they didn't have any sort of communication with you. You were calling and texting and seeing what was going on and everything else. You have 5 months until you go to Japan. 5 months. That's 5 months you have to teach Scott as much Japanese as you possibly can. Now, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world if you guys aren't super fluent by the time you go, but to at least have the manners and the respect to learn their language before going up there and having a bit of knowledge, that's what you are focusing on. You focus on the language. When you're focusing on teaching and you told your husband to find a coworker, and the reason it was a coworker was because when they learned Japanese together here, they could practice it together at work. But he didn't show up Sunday. He didn't call, he didn't text. You were calling, you were texting. He never responded. He never got back to you. He's avoided your husband at work. So if he wants to continue Japanese lessons with you and your husband, then, it's time to charge him. You set $40 a month, and that is more than fair. Because there are people out there who charge by the hour. So, I don't think it's asking too much. Excuse me. I'm a little exhausted today. A lot of things have happened. You have to get control over things that you can control. If he's not going to show up, then don't make him show up. Just the next time somebody wants to learn Japanese from you, sorry to say to them, but the guy that you've been trying to teach Japanese to has ruined it for everyone. And, so it's $40 a month. That's not even a huge price to pay to learn another language. So, you've gotten on top of your laundry. Don't let that slack. You gotten on top of cleaning your room. Don't let that slack. You've been keeping up with cleaning and everything. Don't let that slack. Okay, keep your research going. Keep, researching on the things that you want to do, like being a landlord and investing more. You already invest with your husband, learn more investment strategies. That's all I can say. Just, be as educated as possible. And when you tell everyone else invest in themselves because they're the very best person to invest in, that's true, and it's true. So keep investing in yourself. Invest in, furthering your education and your skills and everything that goes along with that. Get better at what you want to do. You know? You've learned to cut out people, and I'm not just saying that because of, you know, don't just cut out the drug addicts. Not everyone knows drug addicts. They're around though. But cut out the people who aren't doing your life any favors. Like, they're not helping you to grow. They're not going on the same path as you. They're always complaining about this or that and all the financial things. Even though you give them all the advice you can, and you have a channel for it, so you have the channel to give them the advice. But there are people that you know personally who you give advice to personally, and they're not taking that advice. So, you know, learn to cut them out. At least if you're making videos on YouTube and you're posting them on YouTube, people who watch your videos are watching your videos because they're interested in what you have to say. You know, they went to seek advice themselves. Okay, not like these friends who seek advice and then you give them advice and then they don't want to have anything to do with the advice that you give them. They think you're wrong, even though they've seen what it can actually do. You know? They're just going to keep complaining and complaining and complaining of the same thing that they've talked to you over and over again. If you talk to them about and you've given them the same advice over and over again, you can't just keep asking the same question and expecting a different answer. That's not how that works. So, you know, you've learned to cut people out. You probably have to cut more people out. Find new friends. Get on track. Just go find people who are going in the same direction as you. They don't have to be, well, they don't have to be, you know, wanting to do the same thing as you, but as long as they're going in somewhat the same direction as you, as trying to, like, be financially free and making money and, you know, that stuff, all that stuff together along with you, as long as they're doing that, you know, they're on the same path as you in some way. So keep them, continue to speak with them. But the people who are just constantly complaining and seem stuck in one spot and they don't want to move out of that spot, it's time. It's time. Give me a second. I'm going through something today. Sorry, I go through a little bit of anxiety or whatever it is that just happened. And so I don't know how it starts, but they don't last that long. And yeah, we're actively, you know, every time it happens, we're actively trying to get it under control. And what I've noticed is it only happens when new things are going to happen. So, yay! So, yes. So, we won't worry about that right now. So, what was I talking about? We'll figure it out. Okay. Wow. I really lost track of where I was. Didn't even pause the video that long. Okay. I'm gonna pause one more time because I cannot think of what I was just saying, like, at all. Like, you could tell that it was coming for me the whole video. But, oh, okay, I think I know what I was talking about. It was cutting people out that needed to be cut out. Wow, okay. You need to get that under control. You gotta figure out what's going on there. That's part of the self-care. That's part of focusing on you. You need to figure that out because just like right now, it happened at a very inconvenient time when you're trying to do videos, and you know, things happen like that. You know, you gotta get to a point where you're financially free and you can take care of everything that's going on. You know, I know there's an excitement in your chest every time you feel that way, and it just, not really an excitement in a good way, but you know, an excitement nonetheless. And then you got these visions, and then all of a sudden these visions are going in your head and you can barely see what's actually right in front of you, right? These visions come more clear than reality, and then you get this anxious feeling a little bit in your chest, right? I don't know what that is. You haven't gone to a doctor either, so you probably don't know. I mean, if anyone in your audience is watching this right now, they could leave a comment in the comment section about what they think it is. But other than that, you know, try to at least get it under control, because it doesn't happen very often. It's not an everyday occurrence. It's every once in a while. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. So learn to cut the people out who need to be cut out. If they're not helping you in your life and they're not doing what you need them to do, or what you want, if they're not bringing the value you need in your life, don't be afraid to do it. And I know that you have a big heart sometimes when it comes to other people. Like, you don't like to, upset people. That's not how, you can't let those feelings get in the way when you're trying to be better, when you're going on to this path that'll bring you financial freedom, so your husband and you could just live comfortably, where you don't have to have a job, but you will have money coming in. You don't need to keep people just because you feel bad, just because you feel like you're hurting them, okay? You're gonna hurt people's feelings no matter what. That's just how it is. It's not gonna just go away, so to speak. But those are the same people who will take advantage of the circumstances, and they will try to sneak their way in like a snake. That video you made and you titled Snakes? Yes, that's just exactly what it's like. You can't just have them sneak their way into your life and try to make it as miserable as possible. It's just not how it'll work. It's not how it's gonna work. It's not how it needs to work. And also, charge people for the services you provide. Don't just offer it for free. Because if you offer it for free, no one's gonna take it seriously. So do what you need to do. Don't just offer it for free anymore. There's people out there who've taken advantage of all of this, and it's not the good people who take advantage. When there are, free opportunities, there are some people who will take full advantage of it and attend everything because it's free. it's free and it adds value to them. But there are some people who are like, it's free, it doesn't affect me, I don't have to, attend everything because it's not coming out of my pocket. I'm not in with anything. I'm not at a loss for anything, And those are the people who, ruin it for people who actually do show up and actually do want to have all these things, and they actually do want to show up every day when you bring it up. So you just gotta keep that in mind. It's not always gonna work out the way you want it to work out. You want to be nice and you want to do all this stuff for people. You want to, but that's not doing anything for you or them, apparently. So if they want, like I said, if they want back in, if he wants to learn more, it's now $40 a month. You just have to do it. And that extra $40 a month, if he decides he's gonna do it, that goes straight to the honeymoon fund, and that's just more money in your pocket for your trip and everything. Wow, lots of yawns today. There's something in my eye. We'll figure it out later. But yeah, it's hard, and just the fact that this is one of the ways you have to find out, or you're gonna have to figure out no matter what. But when it comes to just the fact that people were taking advantage of it and they were lying to you and all this other stuff, it's one of the hardest ways to find out. Because it wasn't even like you found out from them, it was you found out through someone else. And that one guy just doesn't communicate. He's very bad at communication. He needs someone to communicate better. But you've stated that to him before, that he needs to learn to communicate, and he just hasn't. So that's on him now. And unfortunately, that's on everyone else too now. So yeah, you've had to learn a lot this week. Because you try to make everyone happy. You try to not make it hard for other people, but that's just not how it works. You're gonna have to, you have to stand up for yourself. You gotta do the things that are uncomfortable, okay? Like you say in other videos, the comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there, right? And you can't just say, someday I'll do this, or someday I'll do that. Islands are beautiful. The only one you don't want to visit is Someday Isle. Affirm it and you shall receive. You literally post that on Facebook, on your business page, and then on your normal Facebook, So that's just how it's gonna have to work. Well, we're gonna have to cut this short because you're tired or something. You're yawning. You're doing all this. I'm yawning. you know. But I will say to the audience, like you say every week or every day, invest in yourself because you are the very best person to invest in, whether that be stocks, education, all this other stuff. Invest in yourself, learning better skills and growing the skills you have. Okay? Invest in stocks, gold, silver, real estate, all that good stuff. If you want to learn more about affiliate marketing, like what I do, you can check out the link below. And please like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for notifications so you never miss anytime I upload. And leave a comment down below. And we will see you next time. Okay, this has been a Reflection Wednesday. It might have been a little different today, but we all need to self-reflect every once in a while. Okay? See you next time. I love you. Bye.